It takes a special kind of person to give you a close encounter of the freakish kind. Meet one of Halloween Horror Nights' resident freaks, the Rat Lady.
On any given night, we have about 30 rats in here. Sometimes, you know, there's little confrontations, they'll run around, and they kind of nibble.
And what prevents the Rat Lady from getting eaten alive right before your eyes?
The dress that we have on is rat-proof, thank goodness. We do have it around our wrists and around our neck. And actually, the skirt at the bottom has elastic pieces that come around our ankles so the rats can't climb, seeing as there's plexiglass right here, and we can't actually get down there to, you know, keep them from running around.
Your work-related nightmares are nothing compared to those of the Rat Lady.
I don't think that everybody could have this job, but if you don't mind rats and you don't mind actually getting nipped every once in a while, it's really not that bad. You know, what other job can you get paid to, you know, lay down and scare people with rats?
If that's not enough, then the sideshow outside of Maximum Carnage will shock some and make most queasy. He's half man, half lizard, and 100% gross. Meet Lizard Man. This freak gives new meaning to the word grotesque, with over 700 hours of tattooing covering his body. Teflon ridges grafted to his skull, teeth filed to points, and a forked tongue. But that's just an appetizer.
Show him the dart.
This is a dart game for the macabre.
Oh.
And lifting weights never looked so repulsive. If these freaks' vulgar displays of human mutilation and sideshow stunts don't give you nightmares, it is sure to cause a loss of appetite.
Does that hurt? No? How about this? We'll be right back. But he won't.
Up next, your worst childhood fears become a reality. But first, what are all these people running from? It just may be the scariest sound on Earth. "21 Nights of Horror." That's what Universal in Orlando, Florida promises during their annual Screamathon Halloween Horror Nights. To scare park guests, they employ approximately 600 scaracters who make it a perilous adventure for those who brave the event. One of the star scaracters of Halloween Horror Nights 12 looks like he could have popped out of the pages of a novel. Meet Nightmare. This menacing monster was the brainchild of the Universal Dream Team. But how do they turn an idea for a monster into the real deal? First, the concept is drawn as a pencil sketch. Then that drawing is transformed into a computer color rendering. From the color rendering, a small statue called a maquette is constructed. The prosthetics lab and costuming department then create the life-size costume. One of the most integral parts of Nightmare and many other characters is the mask. Making these synthetic disguises is practically a work of art.
The staff that I have making everything for Halloween Horror Nights is generally a staff of about 20 people at this point. They're all extremely skilled makeup artists with skills ranging from sculpting, mold making, painting.
And here's an eye-opener. They have to create multiple masks for one character.
We might have to make 15 of the same mask because they're in different areas of a haunted house or they're in shifts. So it's not that we just make a mask and it's one person.
The Caretaker, the icon for Halloween Horror Nights 12, doesn't wear a mask. His look is created with makeup. Our cameras rolled as makeup artist Jonah Levy took actor Bryce Ward from normal guy to creepy goon, a process that takes up to 2 hours. We bet you won't see a makeover like this on any other show. In the Scarictor hierarchy, the event icon is certainly at the top of the food chain. But there are other roles that people are chomping at the bit to play. In fact, this Scarictor role is so prestigious, many people vie for it each year. This elite group of Scarictors has the ability to send visitors running for their lives. Meet the few, the proud, the Chainsaw Scarictors.
I scare people, it's the adrenaline just builds up inside of me, and it just gives me a sense of excitement and enthusiasm that I'm doing my job right and doing the right thing and just having a lot of fun out there.
The easiest scare, and probably the most effective scare even today, is the chainsaw. It's the noise, it's the vibration, it's the fact that it's handheld, so it's mobile, and they are absolutely the most effective scare.
If chainsaw-wielding psychos don't make you wet your pants, perhaps a trip back to your childhood will.
The core scare in Scary Tales 2 is childhood fears of fairy tales. You know, when you were growing up, all of us had the fears of the monster underneath the bed.
I think that, first of all, fairy tales, to begin with, are kind of frightening. They've taken the somewhat frightening fairy tales that we're all familiar with and made them truly disturbing.
So, we get that a crazy Alice is pretty creepy. But aren't you wondering, how do they come up with this stuff?
We went back to research material where we took Grimm's fairy tales and all of the little morality plays that we hear as kids. We took those characters, and as much as our audience has grown up, we took those characters and said, what if they grew up along with our audience?
Of course, to create a scary tale, you need some scary characters.
A lot of the characters work with their space, too, so they kind of either contrast their environment so they stand out as a pivotal focus, or they kind of blend in a little bit.
Our cameras got to go into Universal's wardrobe department as the actors were fitted for their Scary Tales costumes. One of the costumes may look out of place amongst the pigs and princesses. It's a black and white costume that actually works with the Scary Tales set to create a scare tactic called camouflage.
So when you walk through Scary Tales in the psychopath room, we have a series of patterns that actually provide you camouflage. And we've dressed the character in this space that looks exactly like the wall. You feel that the wall can't attack me, it's very safe. And suddenly, for a split second, you realize that you do have somebody in your space, but you can't focus on them because of the strobes, and now we've been able to scare you.
Are you beginning to feel like Alice after she followed the White Rabbit into a world of bizarre creatures? Not yet? Then it's your turn to enter Scary Tales 2. Have you ever come face to face with a room full of rotting dead lambs?